Are you planning your very first Iceland trip? And have a couple of questions such as how many days you need in Iceland, how much it's gonna cost you to travel.
Check out our hotel.
Like 21 their currency. Or is the ring road trip worth it? If you have these questions, you've clicked on the right video. I have the answers. Right off the bat, I'll tell you the perfect number of days you need to spend in Iceland for your first time is 9 days. 9 days will get you enough time for you to complete Ring Road route, and you'll have a couple days to explore the capital and its surrounding areas. Anything less than 9 days will make you feel like you just scratched the surface. If you really can't have that much time in Iceland, you should stay in Reykjavik and go on a tour nearby or make some day trips. What I don't recommend is to go on a ring road trip when you have less than 9 days. It will take physically 6 days to complete this ring road route. If you have less than 9 days, you'll be in crazy rush all the time. I doubt that you'll be able to enjoy your time there. Let's talk about the logistics. So there are 3 ways to do this. You can either rent a camper van or an RV, or you just rent a regular car and stay in hotels. Obviously, renting a camper van is the most cost-efficient way to travel. I mean, aside from the cost, there are a lot of advantages. Like, you can be more spontaneous. Like, you can make stops anytime you want, make food. You are not in a rush, and really just go with the flow. That's a great road trip. However, van life is not for everyone. If you say, this all sounds great and all, but I'm afraid that I need a private bathroom, then you can rent an RV. Honestly, this was the option that I was most interested in. However, here's the thing. I couldn't find any RVs without automatic gear. All the RVs that were available to rent in Iceland were 100% manual, which led us to the next and the most expensive option, which is renting a regular car and booking hotels. Let me start with our car because we actually spent less than we anticipated on renting an SUV. So here's the thing. I was in Iceland in early June, which was the peak season. So I had about a couple weeks to plan my trip, and the camper vans were super popular in summer. And the price of renting these camper vans skyrocketed to a point where they were more expensive than renting an all-wheel drive luxury SUV. Don't assume renting a camper van will be the cheapest option to travel Iceland. You might be able to find really cheap lodging, and if you can just rent regular car, you might actually spend just as much as you'd spend on a camper van if you were to book camper van on the last minute and pay the top dollar for it. Remember, you also need to pay for campsites as well. So in our case, we ended up renting a 4x4, like entry-level BMW SUV, and we got insurance which was recommended by the rental company, and it just made more sense. So we ended up spend around $1,300 for 9 days of rental. Alright, let's move on to hotels. The total amount we spent on hotels for 8 nights and 9 days comes out to be $1,888. It's about $230 per night. All the hotels that we stay at in Iceland had at most 3 stars. So it is definitely on the a little expensive side. For now, Iceland has quite limited accommodations. You need to book hotels as soon as possible. Things get sold out and booked up very quickly. With that said, I want to recommend 3 hotels that I stayed at in Iceland out of 6 hotels. The first hotel that I really liked is Hild Fisherman's Village. This place is truly a hidden gem. It's located on the end of a peninsula, which means that it sits on the tip of a land that's facing the Atlantic Ocean. You will get the best sunset here, and it's a great place to see aurora. Now, let me show you the inside. As you can see, it's quite spacious and very private. It doesn't come with a kitchenette, but it has a small fridge and a little patio area looking outside. Very relaxing and serene place to rest your feet at the end of the adventurous stay in Iceland. The next hotel that I'm about to recommend has the best breakfast in Iceland. Well, at least in my experience. Hotel Vik, located in a town called Vik. As you can see, they have a full lineup of hot breakfasts like eggs, bacon, sausage, breads, fresh vegetables, cereals, nice fruits, strong coffee, and even cod liver oil. It just tasted like a plain oil, nothing special, but I had to try. Great pros of staying in this hotel is the location. You can walk to one of the black sand beaches, so that was just super convenient. The only downside of this hotel is its bathroom. Especially the shower was tiny, and they didn't have any shower booth. On that note, the best hotel I had stayed at in Iceland in terms of the interior space was Magma Hotel. This hotel was a little bit more expensive than the Hotel Vik. It cost around $300 per night, whereas Hotel Vik was $200. It was spacious. It felt more like a little studio than a hotel room. And we had these giant doors looking outside, and bathroom was big, had a nice shower with a glass booth. In terms of their breakfast, it was also very good. I have to say, in terms of the variety, they didn't have as many various items as Hotel Vik. But the food was really delicious and fresh, and I loved their dining area. It was also full of like Scandinavian style. That place made me feel like, wow, I'm in Iceland. Now let's talk about how much we spent on food. Dining in Iceland was same as hotels. They're not super expensive, but you feel like it could cost less. We actually end up spending around $800 for the entire trip. And we spent another like $150 for groceries shopping. Normally, we spend a lot of money on food when we're traveling. And the reason why we didn't spend that much is because we stayed at hotels which provided us with hot breakfast every morning. Only time we actually went out and had food was for dinner. Also, tipping is not required in Iceland, so you can save some money that way as well. Let's talk about the cost of sightseeing. Surprisingly, we didn't spend that much either. We spent about $500 for two people. Most of the natural attractions on the ring road are free of charge. There were like one or two places that charged a parking fee. That was only a couple of dollars per car. It wasn't until we went to some of the museums in Reykjavik, we went to Saga Museum, we went to Poland, that charged us like $20 admission fees. And also we went to Blue Lagoon, which is like $80 per person, so that was a lot of money to spend. And lastly, our flights. We took the Icelandic Air, and our flights were around $500 per person. So in total, for two people, we spent $4,142. I did not include any miscellaneous expenses, any money that we spent on shopping, because technically they are not related to travel expenses. So there you have it. Do you think Iceland is too expensive to travel? Let me know in the comments below. My name is Juhi. I'm a New Yorker and traveler, and I'm all about helping you plan your best trip overseas by sharing my own travel experience. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe. Thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll see you in my next video.